Stephen Robinson here with Working Class Hunter. What I'm going to do today is actually burn off an old food plot, and we'll get that prepped so that I can get it ready to put in a new plot coming later on this summer. This is the first time I've ever used a propane torch for this job. I've always used a drip torch in the past where you mix diesel fuel and gasoline together, and then you just have a drip of flames, and that works really nice. And I've got that option, but I thought I'd give this a try and see how it works. The wind is blowing straight into my face right here, so I'm actually going to start the fire right here and let it burn into the wind so that it doesn't get out of control and run really fast. I want to get a good solid burn. If you do that slowly into the wind, then you're going to burn more fuel than if you try to just start it with the wind, and it'll blow past stuff fast and it won't get everything burned. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. I'll get everything set up here, and then I'll get the flame lit and we'll get rolling. I'm probably about 2 weeks behind on this. It's really starting to green up. We had our team meeting 2 weeks ago, and so I didn't get a burn. We had perfect weather for it, but had our team meeting, and that was great. And then when we got back, it's just been raining. So the ground is super wet. It started to green up, so it's going to be a little bit harder to burn this as good as I would like to, but we're still something that needs to get done. I don't want to have to mow and then till through all this stuff when I come in to put my plot. So we're going to do the best we can with it. All right, as you can see, pretty good so far. One thing I just want to state, I know people are gonna, probably say you shouldn't be doing this by yourself, and you're probably right about that. But I have a very controlled environment right here. Soaking wet ground. It's just muddy as all get out up here on the top of the hill. I've got the green up all the way around the edges, and then down here in the bottoms it's just soaking. So if I didn't have those controlled conditions, I absolutely wouldn't be doing this. So I just want you guys to understand that I made sure to take all the precautions necessary to make sure that this could be successful. Again, that's why I'm not setting a backfire to burn fast. I'm doing it nice and slow and controlled. And if I did have trouble, obviously I'd have to call the fire department, but I knew I wasn't going to, just because of the way this all sat. So just wanted to get that out there, make sure everybody understands that if you're doing this by yourself, especially if you don't have any experience doing it, 100% have help, have all the tools necessary, have water, have all that stuff that you need, okay? All right, off my soapbox here. Now that we're probably 95% of the way done, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and burn up these edges, and then once I get up here, I'm going to go ahead and light a backfire just to finish it all off so that I can control this back end if I need to. If it was all burning fast and hard coming through here, I'd be a little bit worried, but we're pretty good, so I'm going to just go ahead and come up this edge and let it burn back into itself. Well, that ought to about wrap it up today. I've got this this old fallow food plot burned off. Everything went just exactly as I had planned. A couple of tips. One, if you're not 100% sure what you're doing, have help, okay? Have 3 or 4 people come. You're all gonna need rakes. Water is good. The other thing that you can do that'll really help, especially if it's dry, is if you have access to a tractor and a tiller, what you could do is come through here and make 1 or 2 passes with the tiller and totally turn the dirt all the way around it. And then what you've got is a fire break. That's what they do, you know, when the conservation department burns off their property. That's what they typically do, is till themselves a fire line. I didn't want to do that because honestly I didn't really want to turn this nice sod up. This is kind of what I drive on and things like that. So I don't plant right here, I just plant inside of that. And I knew it was green enough, and I've done this a few times, enough to know how it's going to behave. Didn't have terrible wind. You don't want to do it on a super windy day. That's a recipe for disaster. So you want to make sure you have good wind. Typically that means burning first thing in the morning, as long as you know you can get it done. And then also a lot of times burning in the evening, even at night, is a good option, because that's typically when the winds are going to be a little bit less. You don't want to start a burn at, you know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon and all of a sudden the winds pick up to, you know, 20 miles an hour and you just can't control it. So, you know, burning is a very important way to manage your property. You know, you can come in here and I could have brush hogged this all down, and it would have been all right. But then all of that dead stuff is just laying on top of the dirt, and the dirt can't really absorb any nutrients or anything like that from it. So a good burn, we'll get some rain. The rain will dissolve all that ash down. The ash goes into the ground. That's one of the good components, you know, of soil. And so it's really a natural process that should be done to maintain good quality soil. The next step I'm going to do with this is come in and I'm going to soil test it for what I need to put into it. I haven't done that in quite a while, so I'm sure that it's in need of some nutrients to be put down. So I'm going to get that soil test done pretty soon and get it off so I can find out what I need to buy to put into it, so that when I put my seed in the ground, I'm going to get 100% quality growth out of that. You know, when you have poor quality soil, it doesn't matter how good of a seed you buy, it probably just won't do what you want it to do. So you need to make sure that you have good quality soil. But that's for another day. I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Next time we get together, I think maybe what I'll probably be doing is cutting down some old trees, getting ready to prep another food plot. The first few years I really put a lot of work into this, and then as my family grew, my daughter, she got involved in travel sports, and so pretty much my spring, summer, and early fall have been dedicated to sports most of the time. So a lot of the things that I wanted to do with hunting, land management, stuff like that, just kind of took a second priority, and so I just didn't do as much of that as I want. Well, she's graduating, going off to college, and so this year kind of begins a new journey of me really renovating this property and getting it up into peak tip-top condition of what I want it to be, and really hopefully something that will attract bigger, more mature bucks onto the property so that I have better hunting opportunities. So anyway, I'll just let you go with that. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this. There'll be more coming in the near future. And if you enjoyed it, let's go ahead and hit subscribe and click the like button, all that good stuff that everybody tells you to do. We really would appreciate some follows on YouTube. It'll really help us grow and allow us to produce more content. So thanks for sticking with me.